What this concert showed you is there's more to Canada.
Drake.
Now y'all know we had to see what the Podfather had to say about Kendrick Lamar going to Drake's house and having them Canadian fans scream one more time after he performed Not Like Us. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
Deep analysis of Kendrick doing the Toronto show and the
Getting
whole crowd.
A standing ovation.
Yeah. Asking for an encore, whole crowd in Toronto singing the shit word for word.
Damn.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
No. Kendrick's popular.
Right. He's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people don't internalize that shit like other people.
Yeah, it's true.
Motherfuckers be mad. Like, yo, you like, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
everybody ain't looking at that shit like that.
And Drake will do the same thing in LA, right?
Possibly.
I imagine, yeah. And he's doing it again tonight. And he's doing it again tonight.
In Toronto again?
I think so, right? It's
That's
double
crazy.
headers.
I was shocked. I wasn't shocked, but I paused for a second when I read that he had a 25 police car escort, take him there, and immediately after the show, take me back to the airport. I'm flying home.
Smart man.
I'm
Oh, so
going
he's
home.
not there again today?
I'm not.
Oh, it's not a double header.
He is there.
Oh.
But he went home after the first show. He did not stay.
Oh, well.
I'm not
LA?
mad at. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, he's out here.
I'm not mad
He
at
came to New York.
I'm not
And
mad
when it's
at-
time to go, he's gonna get
45
back on the
minutes-
plane.
45 minutes away.
Head
Yeah.
back out. That's superstar shit there, boy.
Yeah.
And not
That's
for nothing.
superstar
And
shit.
not for nothing. That's just a testament too to the power that this boy got in Canada.
Yeah.
That
Is
nigga Drake is like the president of Canada, my nigga. So I'm not even gonna take no risks or nobody doing no dumb shit. I'm not having the
I'm ready to hate. I'll throw some hate out there.
concierge nigga or the nigga bringing the food and room service doing some stupid shit. I'm not.
Where do we get that from that Drake is the president of Canada?
It's a joke. I mean,
But it's not a joke.
It's not a joke, but it is a joke. You don't think that Drake has been the biggest artist in Canada history?
But that's different
I think
than
that's very different than being the president of Canada.
that he could push a no, but in terms of
I'm
like
not
him being able
saying
to
that
push
he
a button
can't
on-
make some things happen in that city if he wanted to.
This
Yes.
is what I'm saying. You're right. Yes, you're right. I'm not negating that.
I'm not sure that he would even.
I'm not sure that he
the
would
bigger,
do it.
Yeah, the bigger fear would be someone doing it on their own volition.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying is,
right. That's
That part.
true.
what this concert
He's the second
showed
biggest
you
in Canada.
is there's more to Canada.
Not disagreeing with that, but they still don't take away the fact that there are stupid little motherfuckers that'll push a button thinking that they doing something for you.
Y'all not gonna be able to smell Kendrick's cologne. Not even in the elevator once you get off. Y'all not gonna be able to get near him. I mean, who's shocked by this?
Let me ask you this.
Who's shocked by him announcing 2 back-to-back dates out there? That little idiot dude doing all he can to threaten thing. Who's shocked by how Kendrick is moving?
Nobody.
No, but you just still said he is taking precaution and had a 25 car convoy bringing him back and forth. So he don't share the same sentiment as you. Because if he shared the same sentiment as you, he would have stayed in a Toronto hotel somewhere or a Canada hotel and
know
not
what you're talking
high-jetted it out of there. But
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's bigger than Kendrick
I
at
don't
that
know what
point.
you're
Yeah.
talking
that's possible. That's possible.
Nobody is allowing that to happen.
I'm not disagreeing.
He's out of there. You can't get near him.
Cool.
I think he's saying
What
the
I'm
proof,
saying
the
is
proof
this.
of Drake's power is the fact that he's taking it
The
this
fact
serious.
that the company did that. Fuck. Let's say it's not Kendrick's team. Let's say it's not Live Nation. Let's say it's TD. Let's say whoever it is. Somebody is acknowledging that something could potentially happen, so they took a different approach to this particular tour.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
I'm not going to put that on Drake
No,
because this is a big broadcast. So
I'm
gonna do
not
that.
saying him. We're saying that a fool could think that they standing up for their hometown
Right.
and do some stupid shit. We see it all the time. Somebody could be like, "Yo, I'm
Nobody's
representing."
negating the stuff that you say.
Yeah, so, but you saying that you think it's
I'm speaking
overstating
to,
it.
No, I don't.
Oh.
You recognize a threat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
speaking to the ability to move a certain way once you do. This is really heard of in touring circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The magnitude of this song and this beef is unheard of.
True.
The shit that they put the country in a fucking.
No, niggas got shot by.
I'm about to say people really died with
Yeah.
Pac and Biggie.
Yeah, niggas died by and hit him up.
True.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they put the country on pause.
The magnitude of the
Kendrick
battle, yes.
Lamar,
The magnitude of
yes.
the beef, no.
Yeah. Battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
that's what
want to highlight that this is not normal activity for a tour to fly back home when you have a. I think that's fly.
Yeah.
I think that's super fly.
OD fly.
They went and tore up New Ho King.
That place.
The Chinese
They
spot.
really came up.
Stupid. Yeah. Oh, what?
New Old King
Shit
might
like
be
a
one of the real
tourist
winners.
attraction. Yeah,
For
like,
sure.
shit like a tourist attraction.
No, ain't no like.
Yeah.
It's a tourist attraction.
Like Game of Thrones.
Are you talking about a
Word.
Chinese restaurant in
Yes.
Toronto?
Yes. Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
mentioned
there's
in those songs.
this video
In the video.
of
Got it.
kids in there just acting a fool. Listen, I'm happy for them, man. And again, recognize that this is over a year later that we having
That
this
shit is
conversation.
word. What a victory lap,
Yeah,
boy.
damn near a year. Damn near a year.
No, over a year.
No, it was like June, May or June.
No, not like us anniversary
Yeah,
passed.
it was like Memorial Day weekend or something like that. Somewhere around
May,
there.
June.
Yeah.
So, but even to that, did we think that he wasn't going to sell out them stadiums? The average concert goer is some lily white person that could give a fuck about that shit. I want to see the music. I want to hear the music. I want to see the show.
That stadium was packed. Like that video was filmed from the rafters.
I could believe it.
Yeah.
Insane.
I could believe that. I wouldn't have doubted it.
That shit is impressive.
Listen, shout out to Kendrick, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kendrick. Super impressive. He's still on the run. Shout out to Toronto.
Word.
Shout out to the people that had a chance to see what that was like, especially out there. That had to be a moment.
Hey, shout out to Drake, man. I don't want to undersell his participation in the most entertaining beef of all time.
Yeah, that's true. Y'all playing around. Not like us is cool, but there's some other heat.
I remember pushing DT with a man and whipping 2 Mazdas.
All right, man.
That's the shit that dropped today, right?
Yeah. It's easily the worst song I ever heard.
It's
It's the worst Drake I ever heard in my life.
What was
The
that? Just
worst
a single?
Drake's homeboy I ever heard in my life.
Single EP, 3
Me, I'm a
bags?
six star, Bob is a bulldog.
I can't.
yeah, it's bad.
I can't, y'all. I'm sorry.
That's bad.
I'm sorry. When Iceman drops, if it's some shit on there, I'll play this, no, and no. I thought it was interesting they canceled that Castanet stream, or pushed it back rather.
Yeah, I don't know what the impetus was.
On
behind
what?
that. He was supposed to go preview the album, right, or something.
I don't know. They said that something was supposed to premiere.
What was the stream of?
Kaisen
Drake.
Drake.
Drake. Castanet.
Oh.
Oh, it was a video premiere. Got it. Okay.
Who knows? Anyway,
Yeah.
it's pushed back.
All right, so the first thing I thought was interesting is when, God, what's the white guy's name? Sorry, I'm forgetting his name, but he said Drake could do the same thing in LA. And I was thinking to myself, maybe at a time before the beef, he could do that. But I really think LA pride is different than what you saw in Toronto these last 2 nights, because Kendrick performed last night and the vibes felt the same way. I did see a few people taking pictures and they had family matters playing on their phone while they were in the Kendrick concert, which I didn't really understand because you paid to go to the Kendrick concert. To me, at that point, you still gave Kendrick the W. You gave him your money just to go in the concert, put your phone up and say, yeah, I'm listening to Drake while I'm at the Kendrick concert. I said, okay, that's cool. But I just feel like LA Pride is different. I don't think they would let Drake, and I'm not saying they would do anything, but I think they would definitely boo. You would hear some people cheering in the crowd, but you would hear some booing. You would hear more silence. I don't think you would hear everybody in the LA crowd singing a Kendrick diss the way you heard those people in Toronto singing Not Like Us. I'm sorry. I just don't think that would happen. And I really, to be honest, and I'm not trying to make this a country thing, I think it's a lot of cities in America where they wouldn't take that disrespect from one of their hometown artists or for one of their hometown artists. You would have a hard time telling me somebody could do that in Detroit, Chicago, New York. I'm just being honest. But I don't want to take away from what Kendrick Lamar did and Not Like Us and things of that nature. But I just really think those fans in Canada, they're different. And also, I think we do overestimate the power of Drake in Canada. And what that audience is like. Now, I'm not saying it's not any black people in Canada and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, I think they're a different kind of music audience. Okay? So that's all I got for that. But they started talking about, and I think Joe brought this up, the way Kendrick was moving after the show. And so I think I spoke about this before. You had a top 5 going to the hotel trying to find Kendrick. But at the same time, you had people in LA threatening Drake too. And I wish Joe would have brought that up. Maybe he wasn't privy to that, but Kendrick's so-called cousin, he was threatening Drake, saying he would off Drake like Tupac and Biggie if something happened to Kendrick in Toronto. And I think really that's why top 5, or maybe top 5 would have did that anyway, because I know top 5 is a hothead. But I just want to say both sides was doing a little extra stuff when Kenny was in Toronto. So look, I'm not mad that, you know, Kendrick was moving with all of that security and he left town the night after. I didn't even know that before Joe said it. I just thought he had a lot of security. I didn't know he left town and then came back for the second show the very next night. Cause y'all know, during the whole beef, Kendrick was staying in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I remember Rory and Maul saying he was staying right down the street because, you know, they live in New York too. So during the beef, he wasn't even staying in LA. He was in New York, pretty close to Drake. Maybe he needed to feel that energy for the diss records and the battle. But yeah, he didn't really start to go back to LA until it was time to shoot videos and stuff like that. And so, yeah, he does have a place that's very close to Canada. So it's not like that's a long trip. Easy trip, go home where you're comfortable and then come right back. I'm not mad at that. And also, I wish Joe would have spoke to this. When you're a big artist and there's a lot of money behind you, they don't take those chances. And I think he briefly kind of mentioned it, but I just want to be serious with y'all. The label is taking precaution. They're robbing you. Okay, they're stealing all your money. So, of course, they're going to protect you. I'm just being honest with y'all. They make way more money than the artists. Y'all know this. It's like the NBA. The owners make more than the players. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. You know, but people like Drake and Kendrick and J. Cole, they make more than the average artist, of course, because when you're successful, you get a bigger piece of the pie. But at the end of the day, they're making more money off of you than you are. So they're going to protect their investment. So yeah, they're going to protect their entertainers. And they're not going to chance, you know, honestly, I feel like after the Biggie Tupac thing, I think all labels started to be a little more precautious around their investments because they look at artists like, you know, their work, their business. And so Kendrick doesn't have any type of say in that matter, even if Kendrick, you know, Lil Short Self was talking about, yo, I'm staying in Canada. Ain't nobody gonna scare me off. You know, I'm sure a security guard would bop him in the head and throw him in a car and throw him in a plane and get him out of there. Because that would be their orders. I don't care what happens. You make sure you get him to where we need him to go. So that's how it goes. I'm not going to sit here and say Kenny was scared. I saw some people on Twitter saying that, oh, look how he was leaving with 50 trucks and da-da-da-da. That's business. That's how it works. It's a lot of stuff the casual fan doesn't know about, you know, the inner workings of music. But let's get to this new song by Drake. This song he has with Smiley. I didn't really like it either. Joe played a snippet, and I think Drake is really getting into his Canada bag. A lot of that Maza, Taza, Baza. I think that's Canada slang, and that song is for that Canada audience, that Canadian hood audience, whatever you feel like Tory Lanez was representing and stuff like that. And when Drake is talking about the hood of Canada, that's for that audience, that tone, the way he's talking in that song, that's for those, you know, that's for those Canadian fans. That's not for the American fans. I think a lot of people don't understand that for years when Drake was putting out music, he was putting out music in a way where he was kind of hiding his Canadian identity and making the music sound more American. And I think that's the thing. When people hear him get into his Canadian bag, they don't really like that. That's not the Drake we're used to. And so I'm not surprised Joe didn't like it. And it wasn't really my favorite either. I liked the beat. I thought the beat was okay. But you know, maybe it will grow on me. I don't know. And I am somebody who like to give, you know, other types of music a chance. I like UK rap. You know, I like a lot of the artists in the UK. I like, you know, Caribbean music, you know, Latin music, all of that. But I just feel like at this time, Drake needs to be coming out with some slaps, you know, like Kendrick in your hometown got them people screaming one more time, and you talking about Maza, Kaza, Jaza, Baba. And I'm like, I don't know if this is the time to drop that one, Drake. Also, a little piece of me felt like, I'm like, dang, if Smiley is your man's, you need to give him a hit. See, sometimes people don't talk about that. When an artist is doing something for their friend and then they give him the relaxed verse, the almost the garbage verse, the verse you wouldn't put on your album. I don't think Drake is going to have a verse like that on Iceman, this new album. And I think about that all the time when people be quote unquote friends and they doing their mans a favor and they give them a feature and the feature ain't all that. I think to myself, well, damn, how cool are you and the Smiley guy? Because the Smiley artist is another guy from Canada. I see him hanging out with Drake all the time. He's a rapper from Canada and all this other stuff. But you give him the mid verse that you wouldn't put on your own project. But some people be so happy, you know, it's a Drake verse. If you get a Drake verse, you just take it. But still, I was like, ugh. Now that Casa That stream they brought up too, I thought that was interesting as well. But a lot of people, I don't think they understand. Drake and Kai were doing some kind of contest where you would enter a video treatment and they would pick the treatment and then that person would fly out, help direct the video for one of those songs off of Sexy Songs for You. And then it was like that. It was like a competition. And they said they were still working on the video. So I don't feel like that stream had anything to do with Kendrick. But remember, Drake did say to DJ Academics, because I know y'all like to say allegedly, y'all don't believe anything Academics said when it comes to anything with, you know, Kendrick or Drake. But Act did say Drake told him that since Kendrick came in town, it was 2 cars surrounding his house. So maybe that's why Drake couldn't do this stream with Kai. Maybe the police won't let him move. I don't know. But that's all we got for this. Yeah. I was hoping Joe would be a little more animated, but I think at this point for a lot of people, the beef, you know, it's like it's what is it, a year later now? It don't hit the same. But y'all tell me what y'all thought about Kendrick tearing up Toronto 2 nights in a row. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.